In half an hour, EastEnders, but first, tonight's edition of Inside Out London.
Disfigured in battle, how cosmetic surgeons more used to tummy tucks and Botox are helping our soldiers.
The movement now was fantastic. Before, I was struggling to move it a tiny bit now, but I've got full movement in it and it doesn't hurt, it doesn't stretch.
Soldiers wounded in combat often receive vital surgeries from the NHS. But tight budgets mean their scars don't always receive full cosmetic care. That's why one skin clinic in high-end Harley Street, more used to offering Botox and tummy tucks to the rich and famous, has set up a charity to provide specialist scar treatment for damaged British soldiers. Mark Jordan has the story.
They are survivors of Afghanistan. Two ex-British soldiers seeking help on Harley Street. The NHS has saved their lives, but both now seek charity to help soothe their scars of war. Fashion model Trudy has come to Harley Street for what's nicknamed a vampire facelift. Platelet-rich plasmas taken from her own blood, then re-injected for rejuvenation and looking younger. Kim Kardashian swears by it. It's another world. So Dr. Khan became aware that this same process can help the agonizing scars of wounded soldiers. It all started when Mark called up wanting to pay for help to ease his tightening scars.
Good to see you.
I do.
Come on. We found that he couldn't straighten his arm properly, and being in a wheelchair, it helped him a great deal when we were able to improve the flexibility of the scars.
I was just kind of shocked, I suppose, at the time. I didn't really know you could change a scar.
I've got this hard area where the graft was stitched in, so it'll help with that. When Mark came in, it touched my wife and my heart, and you know, we wanted to help. We wanted to do something.
Dr. Khan treated Mark for free and set up the Back on Track charity to help 10 veterans a year.
So this technology we use for rejuvenation for people who want younger, better skin, but it's also very useful for working with scars.
I was out on foot patrol early in the morning, found a big ditch, started kind of sweeping in the ditch and literally stepped in it, then that was it. Big bang. It's all slow motion at the time. And the next thing I can remember is get the tourniquets on my legs. I lost both my legs instantly from the blast. I could hear the blades. They like to keep you awake so they can see you are still alive. With NHS, they go so far with you to bring you back into life, I suppose, make sure everything's healed up. But Harley Street can just make the scars better for a lot, obviously, when you get older.
There we are, that's all done.
The movement now was fantastic. Before, I was struggling to move it a tiny bit now, but I've got full movement in it and it doesn't hurt, it doesn't stretch.
So after being stretchered off the front line comes the controversial grey line between NHS and private. After saving a soldier's life, should the NHS then make every possible treatment available?
As technology advances, then more and more conditions are treatable. And the NHS can't possibly keep up with providing a service for absolutely everything.
Next up, former Lance Corporal Martyn Compton.
Martin, hi, come on in.
The scars and burns he sustained threaten his sight and mobility, the sole survivor of an Afghan attack on his light tank.
It was a planned ambush. Unfortunately, the guys in the back were killed on impact of the ID that they set off. And as they impacted the ID, they then shot rocket grenades at me, which blew the engine bay up and obviously engulfed me in flames. I remember all of this until getting onto the Chinook, and I remember the last words I heard was, "You'll be all right, mate, we'll stay with us." And I died 3 times, and I woke up 3 months later in Essex and Chelmsford. The hospital was killing me and I wanted to get out, and they said, well, the only way we're going to let you out is you need to look in the mirror.
His partner was desperate as to what she could do. She asked the nurses, you know, is there anything I could do? And the answer was quite straightforward, you know, marry him, give him hope. And that's what she gave him.
After 1 year in hospital, Martyn married Michelle. Then came the children.
I said to Martyn when it was time for him to look in the mirror at his appearance, and I said to him, if you change as a person and become a recluse and stay in, then I'm walking away now. I was really upfront with him and blunt. I said, I will walk away. And yeah, he didn't change, so I stuck by him, and you know, we've just celebrated our 9th wedding anniversary.
For me, the line was obviously the NHS fixes me and fix me out, and that's how I put it really, they fix me. But living with life, they kind of forget about, and there's only so much they can do, I guess.
We can see there's a lot of stiffness just along here, the thickness of the skin.
Meeting Dr. Khan and him telling me that the treatment that is available, not on the NHS, makes my life so much easier, because him doing stuff to my scars makes my arms work better, which then makes my life easier.
Although Martyn has had hundreds of operations on the NHS, Dr. Khan is still worried about his eyes.
He has sustained severe burns to his eyes, and his lower lids are non-existent. His tears are just pouring out, they're not lubricating his eyes. So he's at a real risk of losing his vision.
And when's your first football game?
If I lose my eyesight, then I'm not going to be able to play with my kids or do normal daily activities.
With our eye surgeon, we looked into this, and what we discovered was that the NHS did have a facility to help him. So we were able to signpost him in the right direction to plug him back into the NHS.
While Martyn awaits that NHS appointment, he's got the charity fundraiser. Celebs and supporters pay to race the veterans.
Team spirit, the teamwork, everything that I lost, and the adrenaline. I like to win.
He has no legs and missing fingers, and he is, when he gets in that car, makes no difference. He has bumped me off course.
I want to beat them. I want to beat them. That doesn't change. That doesn't change at all.
I get quite emotional about it, actually, because it's so dear to our heart, all these people, what they do for us, and it just seems like I don't want them to ever think that we don't care.
Many of these veterans conceal the invisible scars of post-traumatic stress.
I was eventually diagnosed with chronic PTSD. I don't think it's enough being done to help mental health. We're relying too much on charities like Help for Heroes and Back on Track, this sort of thing, and they shouldn't be doing it. You know, we laid our lives down for this country.
That was summer. Now it's winter. I'm back with Martyn at the NHS's Broomfield Hospital. He's recovering from that vital eye operation.
Okay, good. Let's have a look here. Yeah, so that's done very well. The graft's taken very nicely.
Yep.
There's quite a divot there now, but that will come up, and I think everything will settle down.
New eyelids grafted from the hip.
Well, it's already a lot better than it was.
It certainly is, especially the inside bit.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for the charities, I wouldn't have known about the treatment that I could have had. It's the charities that do the smaller things for me that really help.
I don't think the NHS can provide absolutely everything for everybody, and actually the ability for people to get together with a common interest to help people, I think there's a great British tradition actually.
So if you think you've had a bad day, you might want to think again.
How do you deal with something so life-changing?
I put it a different way, and if I'm the one that's here and the guys that I lost aren't, so yeah, I get emotional about it now.
So you're the lucky one?
Yeah.